service, on the battlefield, and beyond.
All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the three Bravo podcast. I'm Liam Cogan, your host, and today we're going to be doing a veterans benefits breakdown. We're going to be doing some state benefits today. So if you followed along at all, or if this is your first time to the podcast, which I would assume because I have like 300 subscribers on YouTube. So if this is your first time, something that we do is we break down state benefits, we break down federal benefits. We do a little bit of that federal benefit, state benefit news, just to keep you guys updated and informed on how your benefits are changing and how you can use them to better your life. You served, you earned, these are earned benefits, take advantage. So today we're going to be going into Illinois state benefits. So if you are living in the state of Illinois, currently in the state of Illinois, on base, as a reservist, active duty, these are for you. If you're from the state of Illinois before you got in, but you dipped out of Illinois, or you're heading back to Illinois after you get out of the military, pay attention. If you're a spouse, dependent, and any of those apply to you as well. So I do these state breakdowns basically by like income tax, property taxes, your outdoor benefits, and then education and any other kind of like interesting benefit that states give. That is not to say that I hit every single nano benefit that you can get in the state of Illinois, because a lot of state benefits actually go down to counties. Just like property tax, your county is responsible for, I wouldn't say all of your benefits as you're represented by the state, but they're responsible for quite a few of them. So when we get into these benefits, just remember that there is a large portion of your benefit that is coming from your county. It's coming from things that you can do in your community. So always go into your own life and check those out. But there are a lot of benefits here. There are a lot of benefits in every state. If you're deployed, if you're coming home, if you're moving to Illinois, or if you're going to another state, I do these for going to try to do every state and just get a baseline. We're maybe 15 states in, so they do take time to kind of compile this information and try to get everything right. But let's launch. So income tax. So your income tax benefits in the state of Illinois are pretty generic. So some states will have like some pretty interesting income tax things, like any or any active duty based out of the state, any out of state that are moving to the state. So there's some interesting things that can come with income tax and how you file your taxes as well. But Illinois is pretty boilerplate. Military retirement pay and survivor benefit plans, so SBP, RCSBP, RSFPP. So those are all your kind of survivor benefit plans, which change with just kind of your survivor status. That's like Gold Star families. So if you lost a family member who was in the service due to active duty, or if you lost a family member who got out of the service but died to service-related injuries, those are going to be survivors as the military sees it. If you're active duty, that's a Gold Star family. It might even be when you're out of active duty as well. So looking at military retirement pay, survivor benefit plans, all of that is fully exempt from Illinois state income tax. Active duty and National Guard reserve pay also exempt from Illinois state income taxes, and VA disability compensation also exempt from Illinois income tax. So that's like kind of the boilerplate, easy explanation stuff. That's how it comes out of the box for almost every state. Looking into property taxes. So property taxes, like I said a little bit ago, are a little more diverse, because you're not going, I get messages about property taxes all the time, because I'm going to tell you how they go in some of the bigger counties of your state and how they probably go. Some states do across the board. Some states do have a steadfast plan to prosecute property tax for disabled veterans, veteran status people. Not all, not most, by a long shot. So these will change by your county. So you're going to have to do the work for your own property taxes and talk to your county assessor, which is basically, anyone in your local county governance. You can either go over there with your long form DD-214. The long form just says if you were honorable, dishonorable, other than, or general discharge, and your disability package. So your rating, all that good stuff. So in the state of Illinois, there's standard Homestead Exemption for disabled veterans. So they have like a whole program for it. Reduces the equalized assessed value. So your assessed value of a veteran's primary residence based on their VA disability rating. So Illinois is pretty good because they have a boilerplate program. I'm not going to promise that this applies to every single county in Illinois, but they do have a program, so it might be one of those rare states. There's 30 to 49% disability get $2,500 off their EAV reduction. So just your home's assessed value, which it might not sound like a lot, but it actually is quite a bit. 50 to 69% disability is a $5,000 reduction. 70% is the first $250,000 exempt from property tax. So that's pretty awesome. A lot of states won't represent their veterans that way. Illinois is also really good with their hunting and fishing. There's a lot to be said about a state that will represent their veterans well. And Illinois seems to have built a really solid package for the things that matter and come up every year. It's nice to, for some of our veterans to feel appreciated. And then veterans rated at 100% disability with permanent and total status may get automatic renewal, no filing needed for that homestead exemption. So that's pretty cool. That's essentially like no property taxes for 100% disabled veterans, or close to it. $250,000 of your home's assessed value is really good when you're talking about property taxes. This exemption extends to unremarried surviving spouses. So if you are a surviving spouse, I say this pretty often. I'm going to continue to say it. I'm sorry that if you've watched a solid deal of my content, but if you are a Gold Star family and you are a Gold Star spouse, so your spouse died in active duty service, you will lose those Gold Star benefits, all these really amazing benefits, if you remarry. So if you meet someone you really love, and you really, really want to get remarried, just know that you're going to be losing a lot of benefits. And if you can get remarried, but just, maybe in the church and not on paper, to the state, that may pay some dividends for you in the long run. Returning veterans, so the Veterans Homestead Exemption has like another subsection of itself called the Returning Veterans Homestead Exemption, where veterans returning from qualifying deployments receive a $5,000 reduction in EAV for 2 consecutive years. So you can kind of look at that. I do not know if these stack. I should have checked that. I do not know if these stack. In the future, I'm going to have like a little, like Joe Rogan has his Jamie. I'm going to have my wife over here fact checking and helping me out during these podcasts. But for the time being, while I don't, that's something that if you're curious about it, it's an easy Google search away or a ChatGPT away. But as a returning veteran coming home from a qualifying deployment, so I'm assuming a deployment that is out of country, OCONUS, and somewhere potentially, in the mix of wartime or semi-dangerous, maybe not even. So you combine that with some of these other, just the standard homestead exemption, and you're looking at really solid exemptions for your property tax. Don't sleep on this shit. These dollars do add up. These pay dividends over a lifetime. It's super easy to figure out how to do this shit once you do it once. It's really, really, really easy once you do it twice. So do your due diligence, get these kind of benefits squared away when you first get out, that like initial bite of the apple, and you will do it for the rest of your life. You'll be more squared away. You'll feel better about yourself. You know, the country is built to appreciate our veterans. Unfortunately, we just don't know our own benefits because they don't do a good job of disseminating them. So here we are teaching each other. Your education benefits. So some states will offer like free education in their state for veterans. If you're a state resident, it's like Texas and Alaska. Illinois has a veterans grant, so it covers full tuition and fees at any public Illinois college, university, or for qualifying vets. So that's being a resident of Illinois for 6+ months and entering the service with 12+ months active duty or wartime service. So, you know, it'll cover 4 academic years as well. So going back to Illinois being one of those top tier veteran states and how they treat their veterans, you know, having a grant from your state that will cover public Illinois school, college, or, you know, university for a full degree, that's massive, right? You add that to your GI Bill, you add that to your vocational rehab and employment, you're looking at like what is essentially a free doctorate. So with this, you're not going to get a basic housing allowance like you do with the GI Bill, with VRE, but you are going to get another degree, or at least 4 years worth of education for free. And there's some great schools in Illinois. Illinois is actually really known for its great public schools. So really awesome opportunity there for our Illinois vets. Make sure you take advantage of that. I mean, I hate when people just leave that kind of stuff sitting on the table. Now, I was just talking to my buddy in the gym today. He got out of the military. He did school while he was in the military, just like I did. Finished it up right when he got out. Started owning a business, and now he's making tons of money every year, you know, well over 7 figures every year. So, yeah, could you do that? Yes, but the education is always going to be there for you. And, you know, just like I was talking about with him, it's hard to find a time, or it doesn't make sense. You know, there's like a weird polarity going on with our college education system, which is stupid. You can inherently gain things from education, and education is inherently good. Okay. There's no like, you know, indoctrination and all that crap that people talk about. That's on you. Okay. Like if you feel susceptible to the whimsies and whims of your educators, okay. But, you know, if you're steadfast and strong in your beliefs, I don't think that's an issue. So just get in there, enjoy that free education. I mean, it's a wild benefit. You're talking tens and maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars in education benefit. Your vehicle and licensing benefits, your vehicle registration fee waivers. So disabled veterans of certain classes may qualify for reduced fees on vehicle registration. This one is going to come down to your county. So go to what I would really do, and if you can't find this in a Google search for your area, I would just call your county assessor and say, hey, do we have a disabled veterans license fee registration waiver? And they may say yes. If you're 100% disabled, there's a 100% chance that there is one. If you're 60%, it's worth the call to check it out. If you haven't registered a vehicle since you've been in the military and you're getting out and you're going back home to Illinois and you need to get new plates, let me just tell you, it's like $400+ or more, depending on where you live, or more. You know, which is really, really, really stupid. It's one of those frustrating functions of governance that I am always going to advocate veterans use that benefit. Like, do not pay registration fees. Do not pay property taxes. Do not pay income tax. If you can get away with not paying the government that's all bloated and stealing money from us left, right, and center, if you can get away with not paying them, dude, be a rebel and access your benefits. Hunting and fishing. So any Illinois veteran with a service-connected disability of 10% or greater, receiving just disability pension. So like you're just receiving money from the government. So 10%, you know, you're making like $100 a month from the government, is exempt from hunting and fishing license requirements. That is glorious. That is the nicest thing I've ever heard. I love that. Like I said earlier in the podcast episode, I know this already. Obviously, Illinois just has really great benefits. The hunting and fishing for 10% and above to be free is really great. Illinois has got huge whitetail, some great fishing lakes. Really, really awesome benefit there. And they're also exempt from purchasing the Illinois Habitat Stamp, Migratory Waterfowl Stamp. So all that's required is an affidavit, veteran disability card issued through the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs. So get your veteran disability card for the state. You can get that from your... It depends. It changes everywhere, and everywhere says it doesn't change anywhere. Trust me, I've been all around the country. I've used a lot of different VA systems. They all think they're doing it the same way. They are not. They are stupid. Go to your VA hospital, your main one. So in your town, like if you're in, Chicago or something, like the one near Chicago is very likely. The one near Great Lakes is likely one of the big ones there. Ask them if you can get your VA card there. You can call. It's hard to get them on the phone. Go figure, federal employees. Get them on the phone if you can. Go down there if you must. Get your ID card printed, or they'll tell you where you do get your ID card. Sometimes it's at a Deere's office. Sometimes it's not. Sorry, I don't have definitive information there. I can't know that for every county in America. Once you have that, you carry that like it's your fishing or your hunting and fishing license, which is the coolest shit ever. I mean, I love how Illinois has done this. Every other state has something to learn here. Even the big Western states where you have to apply for these really expensive, lucrative, sexy hunts. Please understand that if you are just giving hunters and fishermen their baseline hunting and fishing license, no tags, no nothing like that, through their ID card, I mean, it's completely ideal. Generally speaking, it's a more respectful group of people. They respect authority, so I really enjoy that Illinois has done that. Looking at camping and some other vehicle benefits, Illinois residents, veterans, or former POWs with 100% connected disability rating receive lifetime free admission and camping at all Illinois state parks. Their spouse, minor children, and grandchildren also qualify. Super cool, man. Illinois is just one of those fucking states. Like, they really, really show up for their vets. They make things really easy, really simple, really enjoyable. And, when you put a bunch of hoops in the way, you feel like the appreciation is lesser. So, like, they didn't want you to really get it, but it's paying lip service to whoever, to their constituency, like, oh, look what we're doing for veterans. It's just really hard for them to access this benefit. Like, nobody wants to hear that, and a lot of people think that, and it is true. Illinois is making it really easy for vets to receive these benefits. Just same thing, carry that ID card. Illinois active duty or National Guard reserve members mobilized or stationed abroad may get free camping, sport fishing license, hunting license, habit stamps, and deer permit for 1 year per year served, plus partial year. Eligibility requires verification application within 2 years of return. So, I mean, they're just talking about service members. These aren't even residents. Like, they are even showing up for service members. So, if you're an active duty National Guard service member, mobilized or stationed abroad, you can get free camping and sport fishing license, hunting license, all the great stuff. You can get it all through the state of Illinois. They will make you truly feel appreciated, even as a non-resident. Stamp and permit exemptions. Disabled veterans do not need to purchase the state habitat swamp stamp or state federal migratory bird stamp. I feel like I've said that 5 times. I'm sorry. I put these notes together like a fool. Okay. Employment and licensing. So many states, all states will have sometimes they have different names, which is frustrating, but they will have some sort of VBA or Veterans Business Association, Veterans Business and Opportunities, Community Centers, VBOSC, CSOSC, like there are things like that. These are basically business centers and outreach centers where you can go meet business leaders. They can help you engage with your community if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you're trying to get hired. Really great for real estate, obviously, the networking. Tons of info out there for veterans trying to get connected to business resources through your veterans BSO, whatever, dude. You look at your veterans business outreach centers. Look into them. They may be named different in your state. They may be named different in your county. Again, the federal government says these things are standardized across whatever, and they're just not. Check in with those. You also have, your local VSOs, your veteran services officers who can get you into these places, can help you with your education, housing, and employment. If you ever have questions, you can try to check out your local VSO to see if you can get some information. It's always a great It's always a great source of information to use your VSO when you can. And if you have a bad one, try going over to 3bravo.com, click over to our disability help page, where you can access Claimbase, our web app, our baseline app that will help connect you with different veteran services officers and different veteran services. You can rate them in the app. You can leave them a review, 5-star, whatever review. And you can also share veteran service officer profiles. Just trying to give power back to veterans. That's all the app is for. You don't have to pay for anything. If you choose to leave a review, you have to make a profile. The only reason you have to do that is so we can save that profile and keep that information sacred. Basically saying we don't have bots going in there or competing VSOs going in there and rating each other, whatever. I'm getting way too far into the weeds. What I am saying is go to 3bravo.org for more information, for more articles, for more videos, if you want to find out more about your benefits. And we do have tools. We host monthly meetings on the 4th Wednesday of every month. Go check out our events page. And we do a whole lot more than that. Now, we're a nonprofit organization. We are just trying to get veterans benefits back to veterans. God, I just stumbled through all that. I apologize. I'm just like, we got a new baby at home. I'm going on no sleep. Not trying to complain. Having a baby is great. It's way easier than everybody always says. It's just like you do get less sleep. Baby wakes up like 4 times a night. I wake up 4 times a night. Anyways, I thought they would sync up, like I'm already waking up a bunch at night. And so I thought I would wake up at the same time. I don't. So I'm trying to flip the schedule. And whatever, man. I'm tired. So your final benefits category for every state is always going to be burial and memorial benefits. If you are a veteran, if you have a veteran in your family and you are trying to plan your end of life, make your end of life plan, which is really smart, you should always, always, always look into your state's burial and memorial rights plans. There's almost always in every state going to be help paying for that service, which is really, really, really expensive if you didn't know. And there is almost always going to be a state-run and federally run veterans cemetery where a lot of us like to be buried together. Check it out if that is the stage of life you're on or a family member is on. You will save quite a bit of money. Check out your state-run veteran cemeteries and ask about assistance with pay. There is always assistance for those who ask. And if you need more assistance, please message us at 3bravo.org. That is what we're here for. With that, I will leave you, my Illinois veteran residents. I hope you guys get out there and enjoy those benefits. Illinois is one of the 3 best states in America to be a veteran. So go enjoy those really easy to access, really bulky bona fide benefits. And check us out at 3bravo.org. I will see y'all next time.